Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on hospital safety. We're diving deep into the incredible systems that are designed to protect us from threats we can't even see.
You know, in some places, the very air we breathe can be a threat. And in a hospital, that's a serious problem. It means you need a really smart, multi-layered defense system to keep both patients and the amazing people who care for them safe.
And this is what we're really up against, these tiny, tiny particles. They're so small they can just hang out in the air for hours, and each one could be carrying a contagious disease. The source material calls them an unseen time bomb, and honestly, that's the perfect way to describe the risk they pose.
So how in the world do you fight an enemy you can't see? Well, you build a fortress, layer by layer. And in this explainer, we're going to deconstruct that fortress and look at every single piece of this life-saving system.
So let's start with the first and most personal line of defense. We're talking about the single most critical piece of gear in a healthcare worker's arsenal.
Right here, the N95 respirator. And let's be super clear, this is not a regular mask. It's a piece of precision engineering, totally different from the cloth or surgical masks you might be used to. It's a specialized tool for a very high-stakes job.
So what's the deal with that 95 in the name? Well, it's not just a random number, it's a promise. It means this respirator is built to block at least 95% of those tiny airborne particles. I mean, that's an incredible level of protection. But, and this is a huge but, it all depends on one little thing.
And this is it. This is the whole ballgame. The seal. All that amazing filtration technology is completely useless if air can just leak in around the sides. The N95 is only as good as its seal against the skin. Period. And getting that perfect seal? Oh, it's not just guesswork. It's a science. There's a whole two-step process. First, you have to go through a professional fit test to find the exact make and model that fits your face perfectly. And after that, you have to do a personal seal check yourself every single time you put it on.
So how do you do that daily check? It's a really clever two-part test. First up is the positive pressure check. You just cover the front of the respirator and breathe out. If it puffs up a little bit with no air leaking from the edges, you're good. Then you do the negative pressure check. Cover it and breathe in sharply. The respirator should kind of suck in a little. If you pass both of those, you're protected.
But what happens if you can't get that perfect seal? What if that first line of defense just doesn't work for you? Well, the system has a high-tech backup plan, an engineered solution that guarantees protection.
And look, this is a really common issue. Things like facial hair or just the unique shape of your face can make getting that perfect N95 seal impossible. So what do you do then?
You bring in the PAPR, or Powered Air Purifying Respirator, and this thing is a total game changer. See, instead of trying to create a perfect seal, the PAPR uses a battery-powered fan to pump a continuous flow of purified air into a hood or a helmet. It creates this bubble of clean, positive pressure air that literally pushes any contaminants away. It's a completely different approach to protection, and for a lot of people, it's actually even better.
Okay, so we've covered personal gear, but that's only half the battle. To really lock down an airborne threat, you have to control the entire environment. So let's zoom out from the person and talk about the room itself, that environmental fortress.
So when a patient has an airborne illness, they're cared for in these special isolation rooms. The room itself becomes a critical piece of safety equipment designed to keep the threat contained and protect absolutely everyone, both inside and out.
And here's the question that pops into your head right away, isn't it? If the air inside that room is contaminated, what stops it all from just rushing out into the hallway every single time a nurse opens the door?
The answer is so beautifully simple. It's just physics. The ventilation in these rooms is engineered to constantly pull more air out of the room than it pumps in. This creates what's called negative pressure. So the air pressure in the hallway is higher than it is in the room. And what does air always do? It moves from high pressure to low pressure. So when you open the door, clean air from the hallway gets pulled into the room and the contaminated air stays put. It's brilliant. So as you can see, this isn't about just one gadget or one trick. It's a whole system working together. And the best way to think about it is like a chain of protection where the whole thing is only as strong as its weakest link.
And this is the most important takeaway. It is a complete, interconnected chain. If that N95 doesn't seal right, the chain is broken. If somebody skips their daily seal check, the chain is broken. If a patient isn't in the right room, the chain is broken. One single failure in one link puts everyone at risk.
So let's just run through those 3 critical links one last time.
You've got the professionally fit-tested N95 respirator, or a PAPR if needed. You've got that mandatory daily user seal check. And you have the environmental fortress of the negative pressure room. All three have to work together perfectly.
And really, it all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. Total protection doesn't come from one big, heroic action. It comes from doing a whole bunch of small, critical details perfectly, every single time.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? The next time you walk past a hospital, just think about all the amazing, invisible science that's constantly at work inside keeping people safe. It makes you wonder what other invisible systems are protecting us every single day that we never even notice. Thanks for watching.